This essay example, as well as thousands of others, is available in text format on our website for free and without registration. Simply Google Ivy Panda Free Essays.
Sport has a very positive influence on our health. It is possible to say that going in for sports can help a person to improve his health and prolong his life. However, very often, professional sport is connected with different and dangerous injuries, which can make a person disabled. Especially it deals with contact sports where players are playing on one field, competing with each other. Emotions that players feel and adrenaline flowing in their veins condition a very high level of aggression, which is why sometimes players cannot control their actions, being devoured by the game. Under such conditions, each clash is extremely dangerous. Football is one of those kinds of sports. The main disadvantage of playing football is the great risk of being injured. A person who is going to play football on a professional level should keep it in mind. Another important disadvantage of this game is that it demands a great time expenditure. Training and games will take a lot of time. However, football also has a lot of advantages. Football influences improving a person's physical fitness. Constant training can develop the muscles of a person and guarantee a healthy way of living. Moreover, football develops team spirit and the ability to work in a team, which is important for a further career. Another great advantage of this kind of sport is that it is very popular, and its popularity can guarantee that a player will become famous and well paid, especially if he is playing at a high level. Golf is a different kind of sport. It does not suppose any physical contact between players. That is why there is no risk of being seriously injured while playing golf. It is a great advantage of this kind of sport. Another obvious benefit is that it is available for all people, no matter what their physical conditions are. This kind of sport does not demand any special training, especially if a person does not play on a professional level. Even more, it can be good for a person's heart, as long walks while playing golf influence positively men's hearts. However, golf has some obvious drawbacks. The first is that it is a very expensive game that needs special equipment and a field. That is why not everyone can afford it. There are special golf clubs which can rent you a brassy. However, membership in these clubs is also very expensive, and not everyone can pay for it. In these terms, football is more available, as very often ball and players are the needed equipment to play it. Sport is a great challenge for a person's moral qualities. It develops such traits of men's character as an insistence, rigidity, and will to win and believe in their forces. Very often it is possible to hear that to become a good person and develop some qualities a man should go in for sports. Usually, there is no difference whether a person plays on a professional level or he is just an amateur. The sport will change him. However, there are always better results when a victory can bring something except moral satisfaction. That is why professional sportsmen are more influenced by sports. It is possible to see how a weaker team beats a stronger one. From the point of view of physical culture, it cannot be explained. A stronger team consists of great professionals who are better than sportsmen from a weaker team in all components. They are faster, higher, stronger, and more enduring. However, they are not motivated. Motivation is one of the main factors which influence the results of every team. That is why the desire to win is much more important than a win itself. Some researchers give evidence for a statement that motivation influences the achievement of better results and correct behavior on the field greatly. That is why it is possible to call motivation to win a more important issue as a win itself. Coaches of any team or a single sportsman have already understood its significance. That is why they pay great attention to this issue. There is a psychologist among workers of a team that helps to influence sportsmen and help them to obtain motivation. A team's desire to win can show miraculous results. There were a lot of examples in the history of the sport when weak teams obtained victory only because of their high motivation. A stronger team does not need this victory. Having won everything, it is very difficult to keep motivation at a high level. This is one of the main tasks of a wise coach. Moreover, even if a team loses, but shows its great desire and makes titanic efforts to win while playing, it is more important than winning this game. Having won, they will achieve their goal and will calm down. However, an overwhelming motivation showed that losing can fasten even a weak team and guarantee its future victories. This essay on sport advantages, disadvantages, and morality was written and submitted by a student just like you. The Ivy Panda Samples database hosts thousands of works similar to this one on various subjects. Visit ivypanda.com to find what you are looking for, free of charge.